Welcome back, Snack Pack, to a new series for the channel on Transport Fever. Now, I have seen a couple of people play this game before. I do find it to be an absolutely amazing simulation game. All these houses look fantastic. And there's little people walking around too, if I can get back over here. Hey there, little bitty people. But yeah, it is a simulation game where you basically put in different transport routes. You can do trains, buses, boats, planes, everything else. You can kind of get your own little industry going around to each town. But I do need to say a quick little shout out, sort of, and a huge thank you to the makers of this company, or the makers of this game. I actually did reach out to the company who makes this game, and I'd say about a week and a half ago, and I wasn't expecting much out of it due to, you know, I'm not like a huge YouTuber, so I'm not expecting anything to be handed my way, basically. And in the time that I did that, I sent them an email saying, hey, I have seen a couple of people play your game. It does look looks phenomenal, graphics wise, how it runs, the mechanics, everything else. And they did say that, actually they sent me an email back maybe 2 or 3 days later, I would say, and they actually gave me a Steam code for this game. So I want to say a huge thank you to them to allow me to be able to do this and kind of do a little review of it myself. Now, there are some bigger YouTubers out there that do play this game as well, so if you want to check them out, go ahead. I mean, fair game. They play it, I play it, sure. It doesn't really matter who you watch or if you enjoy it. If you don't, then try not to dislike the videos, because that does kind of hurt us here or there, just with the different things, kind of statistics and analytics and everything else. But that is enough blabbing on. As you probably noticed, I did start closer to Boise, so that is where I'm actually going to start my journey of trying to grow all of these cities and make different jobs and different stuff here and there. I'm trying to actually see what I can do where. There's a couple of farms, there's a couple of forestry, there's a little bit of gas actually right here, which is absolutely awesome because that is a huge business. But right off the bat, you can actually just start to make a little bit of money by just making a little transport route around your town, which helps out tremendously whenever it comes to trying to get around. So you can actually, let's see, we will toss a little bus station up there. We will toss one right there, and one right there, and then we'll make sure that this whole area over there is covered. Now with that, you do need the little bus/tram stations, and you can rotate them around with N and M. And also, if you hold shift, you can kind of do it a little bit more fine-tuned. And I don't know if you can actually see right here, there's a little crane just going. This game does have self-building cities, which are super, super handy, because that takes away from you actually having to plan out every little single detail of every city. And that does kind of get tedious after a while. Like City Skylines, you do kind of have to plan everything. You've got to do the roads, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and it gets sort of obnoxious in a way. But this game actually does it by itself, which is a blessing in itself, so I am not complaining one bit. Now, I am trying to find a place for this, and I actually think I do want to go with right about I did see a 15.8. That is where it's going. So now everything can go around here, and these people will end up moving in a similar fashion. But as you saw me put in the stops, now you must put in the line. And that is the second step to the process, and you kind of have it go, I usually put it starting at the bus station. And then we will go to this first stop here, and you kind of go in a clockwise motion, counterclockwise motion. And you can see it it will figure itself out as it goes around. But it is fairly smart in the way that it actually plans out routes. And since this is Boise, I will go ahead and rename this to, and just to keep things a little more streamlined, this is a, road passenger. That way, whenever you'll see after a while, you'll get lines and lines and lines for every sort of different thing. So if you have them kind of labeled to what they are, you can find them a lot easier. And this will be the Boise loop. Ooh, that is way too big. Boise loop. There we go. And we will name that. And we need some vehicles. Now that is the next part to this, is you'll have to go and hit the depot, or the depot, however you want to pronounce it. And I usually try to put them out of the way as much as possible. So 19.3 should be good right about there. Now you can go into the depot, and then you go and buy road vehicles. Now at the beginning, which I'm starting in 1850, you only have two different things that you can pick from at the beginning. That is the horse carriage, which carries passengers, and the horse wagon, which carries practically every type of cargo other than passengers. It carries everything else, the logs, livestock, coal, fuel, tools, everything else. But for this line, we will get some just regular horse carriages, and I think I am actually, let me scoop that over so I can see what I'm doing. We'll put it back in the middle. I think I'm actually going to go with three. Well, no, I've got 5 stops technically, so I'll actually go ahead and put in 5. Now these won't be making much money to begin with. People have to get used to where all your stuff is going to be at, and then you'll start to see little people marks off to the side to how many people's where. So all these, and actually I'm going to pick, I want you, we'll set you to the line. I actually set all of them to the line, which doesn't matter. That's perfectly fine, so I'll go ahead and pick you. I do want to focus on you. Are an awesome looking little thing, and the color that you pick actually does depict on the vehicles themselves. Now you can follow them just like this and go along the streets, or you can actually go first person. Basically, you are a horse. Wow, that is a hill and a half. Now they can't go too very fast, as is just because look, they drop down to 7 kilometers per hour. But, I mean, once you start out, you don't really have very fast items. Very fast cars, very fast anything, really. Now, is there anybody waiting? Nobody waiting there? I'm sure people will start to figure out that, hey, there are places. I think that one covers a big area. So does that one. I've pretty much got this whole city covered for the most part. There's not anybody walking over to that one just yet. So you kind of got to let that kind of work itself out, basically.